You can't stop a B-52 bomber in war period. Capable of delivering large payloads over long distances, the B-52 bomber quickly became the mainstay of the U.S. Air Force in the war. Here's what you need to remember: the B-52 strategic bomber has its roots in the post-war procurement search for the heavy strategic bomber. One of America's most iconic bombers, the B-52 Stratofortress has outlived its Cold War roots and will enter service in the mid-20th century. The B-52 strategic bomber has its roots in the post-war search for a heavy strategic bomber. Boeing, along with several competing companies, submitted a dual proposal. The Boeing candidate, a colossal straight-wing aircraft called the Model 462, won the tender in 1946. The process stalled amid a protracted series of negotiations between Boeing and the Air Force, with the latter expressing concerns over weight, speed, and weight. Proposed bomber and rugged design. In the years that followed, Boeing produced an additional concept model that was lighter and faster. The original design was eventually abandoned in favor of the swept wing. Only after 6 years, in 1952, the prototype began to enter pre-production. At the time, the strategic bomber was a very different aircraft from the initial design concept introduced by Boeing in 1946. Powered by a Pratt Whitney J57 P 1W turbojet, which was later replaced by the much more powerful P&W TF33 P3 turbofan, the B-52 supports a payload of up to 31,500 kilograms and offers an operational range of over 14,000 kilometers without aerial refueling. The B-52 was not very maneuverable or fast at a top speed of over 1,000 kilometers per hour, nor did it need its primary purpose to fly deterrence missions against the Soviet Union during the Cold War. Therefore, the B-52 is superbly armed. Starting with Revision H, the nuclear weapons capabilities of the B-52 bomber were led by 12 advanced AGM-129 cruise missiles and 20 AGM-86A air-launched cruise missiles. The AGM-86A could theoretically overwhelm Soviet missile defenses with a launched saturation attack. Location: Soviet air. The B-52 bomber also supports a comprehensive list of weapons for various conventional missions, among them the AGM-84 Harpoon missile, JDAM combined direct attack munitions, AGM-142 Raptor missiles, and AGM-86C conventional missiles. Air-launched CALCM cruise missile. Capable of delivering large payloads over long distances, the B-52 bomber quickly became a mainstay of the U.S. Air Force in the Vietnam War. Strategic bombers flew hundreds of sorties and dropped more than 15 tons of bombs on North Vietnamese targets during Operation Linebacker II. More recently, B-52 bombers distinguished themselves during Operation Desert Storm. B-52s hit large troop concentration areas, fixed installations, and bunkers, and crushed the morale of the Iraqi Republican Guard, an Air Force statement said. The B-52's greatest long-range power has proven its versatility, and nothing is more evident than its incredible ability to assimilate new weapon platforms. There are plans to upgrade B-52 bombers with AGM-183A hypersonic missiles as part of the U.S. military's response to Russia's recent move in test launches of hypersonic cruise missiles. In addition to the new weapons, the Air Force 76 B-52 fleet is scheduled to receive an avionics raft and targeting updates to remain relevant for decades to come. The B-52 is currently being installed with a new data link and improved communications suite, as well as additional countermeasures and navigation features. Combining an extremely tough airframe with a modular design approach, the B-52 Bomber will be one of America's longest-serving aircraft when it finally retires in the 2050s.